Hey, nice to see you. Terry Rossi here, Pix iTech. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about social media policies and why you need one for your company. You know, Clients come to us and they're often frustrated about things that they see on social media, and they're afraid that their employees might write something that they don't want, either after a termination or just something that the employee might do that's outside of the realm of the company, but still not very great on social media. So we always recommend for all of our clients a social media policy. This covers the internet use while in the office and what they're going to do and what the employee can and cannot do on social media. So let me give you a couple ideas about what your policy should contain and why. So the first thing is you want to be careful about who is speaking on behalf of your company. And this example here, where an employee of McDonald's spoke out against the president and really ridiculed him, was clearly not the position of McDonald's. It was a position of the employee. So this can be hugely damaging, obviously. You don't want employees voicing their personal opinions about anything on your corporate account. So you want to make sure you really lock down who has access to that and you protect your brand and your company. The second thing you want to do is provide a plan for dealing with conflict. So if you do have someone managing your social media channel, you want to give them a plan for how they should deal with conflict. In this example by Nestle, the employee and the commenter, the hater, whatever, started to get a little testy, and it was starting to escalate. So you have to always give instructions on how you want your employees to handle complaints. If you want to look at someone that does it really well, Zappos does it really well. They have excellent customer service, and they also that also translates into how they deal with social media. American Airlines actually does a pretty good job of it too, so you might check them out. The third thing you want to do is include some guidance on what you expect, what the standard you expect your employees to uphold on their social media accounts. So if in this case, this employee posted an episode of Star Wars, bootleg copy that anyone could download. Clearly, that's illegal. Clearly, it looks bad for the employee, and clearly, it looks bad for the company. So you want to make sure the employees aren't doing illegal, illicit things on their social media accounts that could shed a bad light on your company. The next thing you want to do is consider the legal risks of your social media policy. You want to make sure you get it checked out by a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice, but I can tell you that you can get sued. So in this particular case, an employee of Bank of New York made some outlandish racial comments on a social media channel. They fired her, and then she came back and sued them for racial discrimination. So obviously anyone could sue for almost anything, but you want to limit those chances by having a rock solid legal document that your employees sign when they're coming on board. And lastly, the thing you want to do is make sure you keep your employees and your company secure and safe. This is about having good passwords, not reusing them on social media sites, not allowing the employee to use corporate domain names on social media sites. You may or may not allow that. But in this particular case, Deloitte, they were breached, and they were breached by a weak password of an employee. And not only did they lose all their data, it was breached, it was put out in the wild, but they lost their customers' data too, usernames, passwords, private financial information. This is a huge problem for a business. When you lose the trust of your customers, you've pretty much lost everything. So you want to do everything you can to protect that. A couple suggestions for you here. The first is we have a free service that we can offer you called it's our dark web check. And if you reach out to us at callpix.com, I'd be happy to run your domain name through our service and see if there's been any breaches on your corporate accounts. So basically anything to the left of the @ sign, if our company's pix.com, so if it was, Terry at pix.com, if that was out in the wild, it will let you know that. I'm happy to run that for you. Just reach out to us at callpix.com. The second thing you want to do is make sure your employees have ongoing, and ongoing is the key, phishing, testing, and training. So what do I mean by that? Phishing is when you get those emails that are from eFax or Bank of America that try to attempt you to log into something and give up your username or password. We can actually send out tests to your employees that will see if they're clickers. We call them clickers. See if they're clickers and they're going to click on one of those emails. If they do click on them, we don't, crucify them or cut off their heads. We just get them involved in some training, some online training, so that they don't do it again. Employees are your biggest asset, but they can also be your biggest risk. So you really want to make sure you train them and provide ongoing testing. So that's it. I mean, that's the 5 points I wanted to get across today. Remember, your social media policy needs to protect you against security risks and legal issues. At the same time, you don't want to stifle your employees. You want them to be an advocacy for your company. You want to protect your brand, and you want to make sure that the policy addresses sharing proprietary and confidential information. What happens if they post inflammatory content or illicit pictures or illicit content? So get working on your social media policy. And if you want that dark web scan, give us a call at callpix.com. Thanks and have a great day.